The stock market crash of the decade is about to happen. If you don't watch it now, watching it later will be meaningless. Under the twilight of a nearly century-long career, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, has just sent out one final letter, carrying a shocking message about the future of the global financial system. The warning from this 95-year-old man is not a random remark, but a siren call before an impending financial earthquake. He declares that if the world continues to indulge in reckless spending and foolish financial behavior, the US dollar, the most powerful currency for decades, will be nothing more than worthless scraps of paper. But what leaves everyone bewildered is this. Why would Buffett, while warning of the dollar's collapse, quietly hoard the largest cash reserves in history? Is this a contradiction or the final move in the greatest plan of the century? Most people are deceived by absolute numbers. They see hundreds of billions of dollars in cash without realizing that the key isn't how much money Buffett is holding, but how much he holds relative to his total assets. If I sell assets to accumulate cash, the cash-to-asset ratio rises and the green line on the chart goes up. Conversely, if I buy assets, the green line goes down. For example, if you have $10 million and hold $1 million in cash, your cash ratio is only 10%. But if you only have $1 million and keep $500,000 in cash, that ratio jumps to 50%. Therefore, the real question isn't how much cash Buffett holds, but whether he's buying or selling assets. Looking at the cash-to-asset ratio chart over the decades, you'll notice something strange. Every time the green line spikes, the market crashes shortly after. And right now, that line is higher than ever before. Buffett isn't holding cash because he believes in the dollar's value. He's preparing for a global asset purge. When the financial storm sweeps through, the greedy will lose everything, but those with patience, clutching cash, will rise from the ruins and claim the world at dirt-cheap prices. You may call it a contradiction, but to Buffett, this is the art of investing at the highest level. This is not the time to chase profits. This is the time to wait for the prey to collapse. The question is, do you have the patience and vision to wait, just like him? Throughout nearly a century, Warren Buffett has made countless accurate predictions about the devastating upheavals of the global economy. But perhaps his final warning in this letter to the world is the clearest sign of an impending financial tsunami that could wipe out everything. Many people believe Buffett holds an enormous amount of cash out of fear that the dollar will lose its value. But the truth is, he has never truly believed in paper money. What he believes in is the law of greed and fear. In investing, when the whole world is chasing after surface-level profits, the wise few silently wait to seize everything at the depths of market despair. Look back at history. In 2005, when no one thought the financial markets could collapse, Buffett quietly began accumulating cash. The green line on his cash ratio chart surged upwards, signaling a looming asset purge. 3 years later, the 2008 financial crisis hit, wiping out millions of greedy investors. Meanwhile, Buffett, who had been patiently waiting for 3 years, started pouring his cash into assets priced cheaper than worthless paper. When the world saw him emerge wealthier after the crisis, they thought it was luck. But the truth is, Buffett never waits until the market crashes to act. He always prepares years in advance, while everyone else is still intoxicated by profits. A similar scenario unfolded in 2020. Just a few years before the COVID-19 pandemic crashed the markets, Buffett quietly began selling off assets, raising his cash reserves to the highest levels in years. Then, as the US stock market hit rock bottom, he deployed his massive cash pile to buy up stocks at bargain prices, doubling his fortune within just a few short years. Now, the cash ratio chart is once again rising rapidly, reaching levels equal to those in 2005, the same signal that warned of the 2008 crisis. But this time, Buffett's final warning could signal a financial storm far more catastrophic than anything we've ever seen. Buffett says he's leaving this massive cash reserve to his successor. But perhaps that's just a metaphor. What he's truly leaving behind is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for those patient enough to wait. If you truly understand this pattern, you'll realize that the best time to invest isn't when the market is booming, but when fear consumes everything. Opportunities like this may only come once in an entire lifetime. Buffett has waited nearly 20 years for this moment. But what about you? This letter may be the final reminder Buffett gives to all of us. His previous letters are now nothing more than history, but this final letter could be the key to unlocking unimaginable wealth in the next decade. The game has already begun. The crash could happen at any moment. The question is, will you be the prey or the predator? If you want to know how to seize this opportunity and avoid becoming a victim of the upcoming financial storm, subscribe to my channel today. I'll continue sharing the most valuable insights to help you turn crisis into a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And don't forget to like this video to save the content, because what I'm about to share could be the secret to breaking free from your current financial status and stepping into a brand new journey. Time waits for no one, and opportunity only belongs to those with vision. Do you have the patience and courage to move against the crowd like Buffett? Make your decision now. Why did Warren Buffett recently warn that the US dollar could become worthless, yet continues to liquidate assets for cash? This is not a contradiction, but rather a sophisticated financial strategy that discerning investors can appreciate. In reality, Buffett doesn't hold cash merely as US dollars. A significant portion of his liquid assets is invested in short-term U.S. Treasury bills, which have maturities ranging from 3 months to a year and can be readily converted to cash. These short-term treasuries are akin to cash equivalents, offering interest earnings with minimal market volatility over short periods. Think of cash as water and short-term treasuries as ice. Both are essentially the same, but in different states. When needed, ice can melt into water, mirroring how Buffett manages his assets. Amid rising interest rates, Buffett strategically sold equities and redirected the proceeds into short-term treasuries, yielding up to 5%. This move not only preserves capital, but also generates higher returns in the short term. Importantly, Buffett avoids long-term bonds with maturities of 10 or 20 years, which have depreciated significantly due to increasing rates. He opts to lend to the U.S. government over shorter durations, ensuring his investments remain liquid and responsive to market shifts. However, the crux lies in Buffett's cautionary statement. When he mentions that the U.S. dollar could become worthless, it's not an absolute prediction, but a warning to the U.S. government. Continued fiscal mismanagement, excessive money printing, and mounting debt could erode the dollar's value. Consider this analogy. Consuming too many sweets may lead to cavities. This doesn't guarantee dental issues, but serves as a caution to moderate sugar intake. Similarly, Buffett isn't asserting the dollar's inevitable decline. He's urging the U.S. government to adjust its policies to prevent such an outcome. So, what measures can the U.S. government adopt to avert this potential crisis? 3 plausible strategies include: 1. Increasing revenue through taxation or alternative funding sources. However, this approach isn't immediate and may not suffice to address the debt crisis. 2. Reducing expenditures by lowering interest rates. Yet this tactic is double-edged. While it might alleviate government debt, it could also deter investors from purchasing U.S. Treasuries, leading to financial gridlock. 3. Expanding the money supply and balance sheet. This is the swiftest method, but risks significant dollar depreciation. For instance, borrowing $100 and repaying only $50 due to currency devaluation might seem advantageous, but overuse could render the dollar virtually worthless. Buffett recognizes that to attract buyers for U.S. Treasuries, especially during economic downturns, investors might shift from the stock market to safer assets like government bonds. This shift could be prompted by a declining stock market, making bonds more appealing. When the U.S. economy thrives, investors flock to equities for higher returns. Conversely, during economic slowdowns, increased risks make stocks less attractive, leading investors to seek refuge in short-term treasuries with favorable yields. This dynamic may explain Buffett's recent warnings. He's not only safeguarding his assets, but also subtly influencing a capital migration from equities to government bonds. What's Buffett's next move? He might patiently await a market bottom before deploying his substantial cash reserves to acquire undervalued assets. This strategy aligns with Buffett's enduring investment philosophy: Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. Under the lens of global finance, Warren Buffett's recent moves are not merely a capital preservation strategy, but a masterful play in the money flow shift between the U.S. stock market and government bonds. His warning about the U.S. dollar potentially becoming worthless isn't an unfounded doomsday prediction. It's a subtle signal about the instability of the financial system as the U.S. government continues to print money and borrow heavily to sustain the economy. However, this doesn't mean Buffett is avoiding the dollar or financial markets. On the contrary, he's cleverly leveraging every economic cycle to maximize long-term profits. Currently, the majority of Buffett's cash reserves aren't simply held as U.S. dollars, but are parked in short-term U.S. Treasury bonds, with maturities ranging from 3 months to 1 year. These assets carry almost zero risk, since the U.S. is still considered the strongest economy in the world, offering yields of up to 5% thanks to the Federal Reserve's high interest rate policies. If cash is like water, then short-term treasuries are like ice, the same substance in a different state, easily converted back into cash whenever investment opportunities arise. However, Buffett's strategy goes far beyond earning interest from bonds. He fully understands that in order to raise trillions of dollars to cover the annual budget deficit, the U.S. government must siphon money from the stock market into bonds. This mechanism works like a financial seesaw. When stock prices fall, capital flows into government bonds, a safer investment during economic downturns. To trigger this shift, the U.S. government doesn't need to manipulate the market directly. It only needs to release negative economic data, preying on investor sentiment. Over the past year, nearly every key U.S. economic indicator, from industrial production to real estate and consumer confidence, has been deteriorating, while inflation remains stubbornly high. Despite this, monthly employment reports continue to show positive figures, a glaring contradiction that suggests the government is trying to mask the true state of the economy. But at some point, when these numbers can no longer hide the reality, panic will set in, triggering a mass sell-off in the stock market and sending cash flooding into bonds. Buffett knows this game inside and out. When the stock market crashes, the value of U.S. government bonds will soar as investors seek safe havens. That's when Buffett will offload his massive bond holdings at peak prices, pocket huge profits, and use the cash to scoop up shares of high-quality companies being sold off at bargain prices, perfectly aligning with his famous philosophy. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. But that's not the end game. Once the stock market collapses and the economy falls into recession, the Federal Reserve will be forced to intervene by expanding its balance sheet, cutting interest rates, and printing money to rescue the market, just as it did in 2000, 2008, and 2020. At that point, Buffett can borrow money from banks at near zero interest rates to buy even more stocks, driving the market back up and doubling his profits. In this perfect financial cycle, Buffett is leveraging 3 sources of money. 1. High yields from short-term treasuries during rising interest rates. 2. Huge profits from selling bonds at their peak when the stock market crashes. 3. Low-interest loans from banks when the Fed cuts rates and injects liquidity into the system. This pattern has repeated itself for over 2 decades, yet most retail investors remain blind to it. They get lured into temporary stock market rallies without realizing that every surge is simply a trap designed to transfer wealth into the hands of big investors like Buffett. However, a full-scale market crash often requires a black swan event, like the Lehman Brothers collapse in 2008 or the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. This year, potential catalysts could be the AI bubble bursting, a commercial real estate crisis, or geopolitical tensions. But in reality, these events are merely excuses to create panic and accelerate the flow of money from stocks into U.S. Treasuries. The underlying goal remains the same: forcing capital out of the stock market and into government bonds. Buffett's warnings aren't just directed at the U.S. government. They're subtle hints for savvy investors on how to survive the storm. Those who understand this game and patiently wait will have the opportunity to buy valuable assets at the lowest prices in decades. On the other hand, those who chase short-term market hype will inevitably become prey in this sophisticated financial trap set by veteran investors. The game of capital migration between stocks and bonds has played out many times, and it will continue. Only those who truly understand how the system works will survive and thrive during the coming financial storm. When evaluating an investment, most people focus solely on the probability of success. If a stock has a 99% chance of failing, would you invest in it? The obvious answer for most people would be no, but that's only half of the equation. A smarter question would be, if I lose, how much will I lose? And if I win, how much will I gain? Imagine investing in 100 different stocks, 99 of which fail, and each failure costs you $10,000. Your total losses would amount to $990,000. However, if just one of them succeeds and earns you $10 million, your net profit is still $9 million. In this case, the losses aren't actual losses. They are simply the cost of investing. This asymmetric risk-reward philosophy is something Warren Buffett understands and masters. While most of his past investments have been focused on the United States, his increasing attention to Japan marks an important exception. Buffett isn't just reacting to short-term trends, he's actively shaping them. While his right hand extracts value from the US, his left hand expands into Japan. His strategy began with a brilliant financial maneuver. He issued bonds in Japan at extremely low interest rates. He used the borrowed money to buy significant stakes in Japan's 5 largest trading companies. These companies, which have dominated Japan's trade for over a century, are now generating wealth for Buffett, essentially making Japan's economy work in his favor. Unlike traditional investments, Buffett's move into Japan carries virtually no risk. He is now the most influential shareholder in these corporations. His team has direct communication and influence over the decision-making of these companies. Even if Buffett steps back, his system remains self-sustaining, ensuring these firms continue to operate in ways that align with his interests. But the real key to Buffett's consistent profits lies in the commitments these companies have made. They will increase dividends when appropriate. They will buy back their own shares when conditions are favorable. As Buffett deepens his investments in Japan, hedge funds and foreign institutions follow his lead, pumping billions of dollars into the Japanese stock market. However, here's the irony. Since a large portion of the Japanese stock market is owned by foreign investors, when stock prices rise, the Japanese public doesn't actually benefit. But Buffett doesn't even need stock prices to rise to make money. Why? Because even if the market doesn't move, he still profits from dividends from Japan's trading companies, the appreciation of the Japanese yen against the US dollar. In recent years, the US Federal Reserve has aggressively raised interest rates, while Japan has kept rates near zero. This created a massive carry trade opportunity. Investors borrowed money in Japan at ultra-low interest rates. They converted yen into US dollars and deposited them in American banks to earn higher interest rates. This caused the yen to plummet against the US dollar. But by late 2023, Japan raised interest rates for the first time in decades. Capital began flowing back from the US to Japan, causing the yen to appreciate by 15%. For Buffett, this meant even if his Japanese stocks didn't rise in value, he could still sell his shares, convert yen to dollars, and pocket a 15% currency gain. Bottom line, Buffett's investment strategy in Japan is a no-loss strategy. Since time is limited, we will pause here for now. However, the journey to wealth and financial freedom never stops. I am committed to sharing valuable, completely free knowledge to help you become a successful entrepreneur and a smart investor. If you don't want to miss out on essential lessons about building your career, increasing your income, and achieving the financial freedom that many dream of, be sure to follow my channel today. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest content, and share this video with your friends and loved ones so we can grow together. I also want to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who liked this video. May you soon achieve prosperity, success, and the financial freedom you desire. Remember, financial freedom is not just a distant dream. It is an achievable goal if you have the right knowledge, the right mindset, and take action at the right time.